this afternoon. What's happening is we've got, if you're looking at the radar here, we've got this low pressure that is now moving into northwestern Kansas, and it's circulating right over the area. We've got a line of thunderstorms that have now developed from Kimball, Nebraska, working its way back to Norton, Kansas, and some more scattered stuff in northern Thomas County now, working into southern Rawlins County. These isolated thunderstorms are going to be popping up mainly north and west of this line from Ray to Oakley here over the next hour or so. And the biggest concern, these storms probably will not become severe, but they do have these lightning strike potential in them. We've got a fire that has been reported here on Highway 25, about 10 miles south of Atwood. And with the winds that are really blowing 50 miles per hour, if we take a look at our surface map, we're showing these winds that have really wrapped up around this low. We've got the southeasterly direction out here ahead of it in the Hill City, Oakley areas, McCook. These gusts have been up there 40, 50 miles per hour. And now that we're in this center, you're kind of seeing the winds calm down and turn to a northwesterly and a southwest direction here to the south and west. These gusts just are similar. They're in the upper 40s to around that 50 mile an hour. And then we've got kind of snow falling out here with half-mile visibilities out north of Fort Morgan into the west of Sterling. So there's all kinds of weather with this low as it's circulating through. And when we look at our computer models, they are showing that here this afternoon, they will continue to circulate and work their way to the north and east. So this activity, these storms, we're going to be lifting to the north and east pretty rapidly here this evening. We don't really have high dew points until we get over here to the east around 5 p.m. when you start working your way to the Republican River when it comes in here into Kansas, up there around east of Belleville and that Marysville area, working their way back up into Nebraska. This is a line that could produce a severe weather later this afternoon. And if you look at our severe storms forecast center, they got that area as a slight risk, which means that's kind of the area favored when they hit those dew points of becoming severe. This would be large hail, damaging winds, and we could have even some isolated tornadic activity here. So when we go through the afternoon here, the rest of today, we're going to be monitoring that situation and maybe coming back on live if some severe weather does pop up as those storms move off to the east and northeast here this afternoon. Again, we're watching this situation in northwestern Kansas. In particular, we have this high wind warning that will be in effect with us until tomorrow afternoon. So these winds are gusting up there to 50 mile an hour as we speak. If we look at our wind forecast map here, the same model that we were looking at with that low pressure moving, we'll kind of advance it out here this afternoon. And what you're seeing is these wraparound winds increasing out there in Colorado from the northwest. And as we go to the evening and overnight, this is this evening, you're going to see kind of the winds die down a little bit out here in northwest Kansas as these storms begin to fire out here out ahead. But then this wraparound winds will come in here during the overnight hours. And these are the gusts that we're seeing reaching up there into that 70 mile an hour out in northeast Colorado, 75, 63. This will be another very dangerous situation during the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. So these winds are definitely something we got to keep an eye on as we go into the evening, overnight, and again tomorrow. They're not going to go down, and if we do have any fires that do start, it is particularly dry back here to the south and west and out in Colorado. We haven't had a lot of rain, and there's lots of it's just things haven't greened up yet. So any sparks or any fires that do ignite, it's going to be hard to contain them with all this wind. So that is our biggest concern here this afternoon across northwest Kansas. We've been updating this through Facebook and through the week very, very regularly that this was going to be something that happened. I know we're wanting to see more moisture out here in northwest Kansas, and it's going to be pretty hit and miss with this one. We might have to wait for some storms uh, next later next week. Another system there on Tuesday when we go to come back here on Monday is going to be missing us to the south through Oklahoma and Texas. We could get our viewing of the eclipse in there on Monday, but up until then, the rest of this weekend, this afternoon is going to continue to be very windy. We got those gusts that will continue here this afternoon as they're turning direction, and then the severe weather potential as we move off to the east. Kind of going back to our radar, we'll just kind of do a quick summary here to kind of wrap this up and let folks know that we'll be to check our Facebook pages if you want to know when we'll be coming back on live or going off live. The radio stations, KYVZ Radio and Northwest Kansas Radio pages will be updated. And if you get your severe EMS pages, Rawlins County, Cheyenne County, Sherman County EMS will be updating pages with any fires that do break out and anything that does happen here this afternoon. But again, I think our biggest concern is the fire weather situation with these winds veering direction. If one starts moving one direction and then turns back around to that northwest and starts moving the other direction and isn't contained, that is very dangerous. We got all of our fire departments on alert. We know this one in Rawlins County brought a couple of the departments here in Rawlins County. I think we saw some trucks coming from our counties to the east and west to help assist on that one. But again, this is a very dangerous situation across eastern northeast Colorado, northwest Kansas, and southwestern Nebraska. This line of thunderstorms, we got some pretty good rains now, just to the north of McCook into southern Furnace County. These downpours up here north of the Cambridge, Curtis, back to Ogallala. They'll continue to wrap around, and then as this dry line and stuff keeps pushing a little bit further east, we'll see that severe weather, let's say, back here towards Concordia, that Concordia to Marysville area, Hastings, Grand Island, up in those places here later this afternoon. So we'll be on alert. We'll be looking for that weather that could happen out in central Nebraska, north central Kansas here later this afternoon. But again, northwest Kansas, please take precautions. Don't do any burning. And if there is some fire that do develop, stay off the roads so EMS equipment and fire trucks can move around and get to those locations. Again, the situation here is mostly this lightning potential. Looks like now mostly, Rawlins County still got some lightning strikes that could be coming out of these isolated thunderstorms. You get around Norton County, Decatur County, and then this activity back in Colorado is starting to turn over to some snow here this afternoon, and we'll have a little bit of all kinds of weather. Going to sign off here, and again, thank you for checking in to America's Weather Streaming Channel, the page here on live. Be sure to bookmark our YouTube channel, myweathernow.com, and the Weather Valet phone app. We're able to send these updates to you through the phone app. And if you want to have a question specifically for us, particularly if we're not on live or we'll be busy, looking at computer models or that moving forward, that is the fastest way to reach us. We will turn around and answer those questions that come in the Weather Valet phone app immediately, because that has the meteorologists on call, and that is something that we're really trying to get out there as a tool that we can provide northwest Kansas, southwest Nebraska, northeast Colorado, and all of our meteorologists covering all the states across the United States. If you want more information about that, go to weathervalet.com or americasweathersc.com. Click on a business or an individual account. You'll go through the registration process of where you're located and your information. If you want to continue with the service, it costs about $1 a day. Just can put your billing information in there. That'll come to us immediately. You'll be on. You'll get an email or get a message back from us, and then we'll start providing our updates and our forecasts. We generally do a morning forecast that's very detailed and specific to your exact location and what you'll be doing that week by 7 a.m. every morning. And then we do a late afternoon 4 to 4:30 p.m. update, and then any alerts through the day as we monitor the weather situations. Going to close out there and message us on Facebook. I'm on call here, not covering this afternoon, and I will get back to you immediately. And again, that's meteorologist Chris Schromick, Decision Weather, America's Weather Streaming Channel, Kansas, reporting here from Atwood, Kansas this afternoon. And check back for potential severe weather as we head towards 4 or 5 p.m. later on. Have a great day.